What's going on, guys? Welcome back to TotalTank. Sorry about the week's absence, I've been away with my work, but in this video I'm just going to be discussing the three main characters or tanks I'm going to be leveling first in Legion, going from my main to two alts. So if your opinions or your mains differentiate, please leave a comment below. If you enjoy, like and subscribe, and let's just get straight into it. So the first one I'm actually going to be going with is the Blood Death Knight, which is, well, actually it's in third place if I'm completely honest. To me, for the past couple of expansions, Blood's been really strong. I've really enjoyed Blood throughout Warlords, Draenor, and from what I've played of the beta so far, I'm really enjoying Blood. The characteristics of it, not so much as it's not the best at blocking damage, but it's better reacting to damage that's been dealt, like healing and stuff. The reason it's not really my main is because, like you say, it's better at reacting to damage instead of absorbing and taking damage. So in that kind of instance, having low gear and stuff could be quite problematic for Blood Death Knights at the start of this expansion. And to be honest, I'd rather go through with a character I feel more comfortable with that can sustain its mitigation, so it doesn't take so much damage, and also heal itself if it needs to. So just off that alone, you can probably guess what my number one spot's going to be, but Death Knight definitely is a strong third for me. Like I say, it's really enjoyable. I love the play style of it, quite offensive. It's one of them classes where you've got to be offensive to be defensive, like with your self heals, like your Death Strike and your Marrow Rend, which gives you your Bone Shield and stuff like that. I think that's a really fun playstyle to use, but in a raid situation, especially with the raid composition that I'm going with for my group, I don't know if it's going to be viable for me to play. So that pretty much sums up Blood Death Knight for me. It's going to be my third main to third character, so it's going to be my second alt. So yeah, Blood Death Knight is definitely getting leveled. I'll definitely be uploading content with the Blood Death Knight, and yeah, that pretty much sums it up for me from this point. So let's get moving on to the next one. Second place for me is going to be the Protection Paladin. Despite its blandish gameplay style, I do think it's still quite a solid spec. It's got its mitigation built into its offensives, again like the Death Knight. It's got its self heals. It's got the mitigation that you need when you need it, so it hasn't just got the one or anything like that. Like your Shield of the Righteous grants you your mitigation, you got your Divine Shield, which is also mitigation, your Guardian of Ancient Kings, and your Ardent Defender, which makes for four quite strong mitigations. They're all viable in different situations if you use them right. Not only do I believe it's a good choice because of its mitigation, I just think it's an overall fun playstyle. But again, it hasn't had quite the overhaul that a lot of classes have in Legion that I hoped it might do. But then again, I'm not out for all-out overhauling, because sometimes being familiar with your class is better. Like Death Knights have changed quite a bit, bringing it into this new expansion, and my main tank has changed quite a bit coming into this expansion, and it has changed for the better. But this class so far hasn't changed dramatically. It's still quite similar to how it always has been, and that's a good thing, because that means I don't have to spend loads of time learning a new class inside and out. It's not as though the other classes that I have chosen I have to learn from scratch, because I've played them for a very long time. But with a Paladin, I've dabbled with Paladins before, but I haven't always played Paladin. So it's nice to be able to come on this class, enjoy it as well as take it through. So yeah, that just about sums up number 2, and I'll see you in the number 1 slot in just a minute. So now I'm moving on to my number 1 spot, which is the Guardian Druid, and it isn't like a sudden change for me. I played Guardian Druid pretty much since the Burning Crusade as a tank, and I absolutely loved it. Through Wrath of Lich King, I just loved tanking every single raid and dungeon with the Guardian Druid. With the changes that are coming to the Guardian Druid in Legion, I feel that it's going to be the best spec for me, because I think this is the best the Guardian Druid's ever been. I wouldn't like to compare it to the way it was in Wrath, because in Wrath it was also very enjoyable. I really loved the spec, I loved the class, but at the same time it was also Feral and Guardian in the same moment. It was just Feral at the time, he had the choice. But yeah, the way this style plays for me currently is just the best. I love it. I love what Blizzard have done with it, the mitigation, the self-healing, but also they're not having to rely on yourself to keep yourself alive as much as the other tanks do. It adds that aspect of challenge in the game. And new bear forms, who doesn't want the new bear forms? I'm looking forward to them, but I quit playing a Guardian Druid in Cataclysm mainly because I really think that's where they started going downhill, and I think they've kind of been ignored and neglected as a class up until now. So that's kind of made me want to pick this class back up, because this guy I'm playing on right now is actually my first ever character, and yes, I am doing heroics because I was doing some last Valor upgrades before Legion launches tomorrow. But yeah, it's a really strong class. It is quite self-dependent, but again, it's got its own ways of keeping itself alive. But you do need the healers to be on top of the game to keep this tank alive. And I think this tank combos other tanks really well. Like, you can put this with a Death Knight, you can put it with a Warrior, and they just bounce off each other. It's great. And this video hasn't been anything at all to discredit the other tanks. I just feel like there'll be a lot of people covering the Demon Hunter and playing the Demon Hunter. Not that it isn't fun or enjoyable, I do enjoy it, but it's not my main class for right now. It's not something I play for right now. It's going to take a back seat for me because I do know people that are playing the Demon Hunter. But as far as it goes, I'm probably just going to keep my Guardian Druid, my Paladin and my Death Knight as my mains for now. The Warriors are still really strong, and Brewmasters, by the looks of it, are probably the strongest tanks in Legion. But that for me is just down to gameplay, play style and enjoyment, and probably preference and a bit of nostalgia really, given the fact that I've played for so long on a Guardian Druid. So yeah, and that's just about going to wrap it up. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video, and good luck in Legion.